Salutations. Welcome to another installment of your favorite podcast, the Dell Ry Report. I am Ryan Humor, and
hey man, it's the infamous About Dell Time. What's popping, gang?
What's good, man? Happy Sunday, man.
Hey, happy Sunday. Bless up. You know what I mean?
Bless up. Them
Bless up.
Dells put up another dub.
Hey, I see you repping hard. I see you with your Nike Warriors warm up on. You feel me? That you didn't want to wear to the game that day, or no, you did wear it.
I did want to wear it, man.
One
of the infamous Obi-Wan Kenobi tried to steal it.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, nah, man.
Let me try that on.
Let me try that on. I learned my lesson from that when I was younger. When the project niggas come up the street, hey, let me try that. Let me get ride your bike real quick.
I'm thinking about getting this. I want to see how it rolls.
I guess this is my friend now. Niggas should ride off.
Just ride off, like come down.
Come on, cuz. Hey, you learn your lesson though from that. And then that happened to me once, and then the second time, niggas like, hey, let's race. And I was like, all right, bet. We went to the hill. And then I was like, let's go to this hill. Let's race down this hill over here. And I was like, all right, cool, bet. And then it was like, and they tried to do some slick shit. Like, they lifted my shit up, like, get off your shit. And I was like, no. And then I pushed my pedal forward, like, huh. And it was like, ah! Hands up. It just mobbed down the street and hit the corner, went to my grandfather's house, put in the driveway. Next time while he's washing his car, I'm like, yeah. They just rolled by, like, shaking their fists at me. They was hella like, They weren't from Double Rock though. These was niggas from like another set that try to come over and try to like take bikes. They wasn't from our neighborhood because Double Rock niggas, they just took my shit.
Yeah, nigga, don't you ever.
These niggas trying to at least hella finesse and tricks. Like, get out of here. That's not that work.
We don't do that shit over here. I'm used to other shit. That niggas
all these shit. Tricks. And you done gave me too much time to think about it. Like, it's like those movies when you watch a dude be like, this is why I'm gonna kill you because you did all the stuff. You stole my rabbit, and then I don't know, like, I hate Tuesdays. I just got fired. All that dude he talking on that shit, he's not gonna kill you. The dude that's gonna kill you, he got the gun. He walk in, you like, why am I? Bah! That's the end. That's when you know somebody gonna get shot in the movie. When dude just come back.
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, those are the most coldest gangsters. They don't do all that talking. They don't give you all of their details of what the plan was. None of that shit. They get straight to the point of killing you. And then they be like,
it's like when Denzel walks up on Idris Elba in American Gangster.
That's the
what you gonna do, Frank? Shoot me in front of all these people?
That's 10%. Then took 10% and left him with a change, with a cup.
What happens, man?
And then went back to his meeting.
And then he went back to his meeting, like, he got me out here shooting people. Shout out to the Warriors, man. Speaking of shooters, shout out to the Warriors. They pulled in another W. If you listen to this on Monday night, then you just heard them close out. If you listen to this on Saturday, then you watched the game yesterday. So right. I mean, you know what I mean. So yeah, man, how'd you feel about that game, though? Do you feel like, is it getting easy? Did the Grizzlies give up? I mean, was we just that much better? And what was your takeaway from that? What did you learn about the Warriors from that?
I think we came out there with the same formula that we've been putting out. And I think this time it just happened to, it just came back to exactly we did exactly what we were supposed to do on a game 3 after losing a big one in Memphis. A lot of people are giving a shit about the Memphis loss, but I feel like they're forgetting that we got the Memphis win in the first game. Not forgetting, but just not really giving as much credit to that. And I think no matter what a playoff team's ability is, they're in the playoffs for a reason. So the fact that we can beat them at their home court and then take it back and then take a game 1 at our home court in a sense, that's great. And we did it in fashion. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, I think we just shot extremely well. I think we moved the ball extremely well. That's what I mean by we kept the same exact formula. You know what I mean? Like, you can only do so much against a team like the Warriors when you only have one huge superstar who needs to get all the buckets. You know what I mean? That can only work. We've seen that with AI against the Lakers. I mean, you know what I mean? When it finally got down to a point, it's like, okay, yeah, y'all, you got, you know what I mean? You have AI. Great. He's great. Magnificent player. That's John Morant. He's magnificent. Great. You know what I'm saying? We've seen him do the shit. He doing one position, going to the left, really just working him and just doing the same shit, but it don't matter because you can't stop that shit. So it don't matter if it looks the same. It don't matter if it does anything, but when you can't stop it, it's very hard. So I don't want to get to this point of two people talking about this should be easy. This should be cake for the Warriors. Is this easier for the Warriors? No, this is not easier for the Warriors. This is definitely a threat team. They were number 2 in the division. They were number 2 in the division. So we're not gonna play with them. We're not about to get out here and start playing with our food or none of that. This is playoff basketball, and when it's playoff basketball, we've been here, we won here, and we're going to continue to win here. So that's where I feel like the Warriors ain't coming out here to play, and that's why they came out here to produce that same formula that they've been producing, locking them up. We out here with a 90% Clay, so we don't get the defense that we usually would have in a situation like this, and that's why the fact of Gary Payton Jr. being lost was such a big deal. A lot of people are now seeing
Gary Payton the second.
Gary Payton the second. I apologize. Yes, because he don't like that shit. Second, mitten, none of that shit. He don't.
Well, because he got his brother's name is Junior. His name is the second.
So Gary Payton, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Gary Payton named both his kids Gary Payton, but one is Junior, one is the second.
That's some gangster ass shit. Like, yeah, nigga, I got hella Gary Paytons, nigga. We out here. No, but
fun fact.
That's fire. But yeah, man, I definitely, so just to answer your question, I definitely don't feel like it's getting easier. I actually feel like it's gonna get harder. I feel like it's gonna get harder, and I feel like John Morant definitely has a lot of Jordan mentality where it's like I taking it personal. And that's why I feel like even with the potential knee or the injury that happened, you know what I mean, in a lot of ways that just fired him up. So if he is able to play game 4, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that's another person who's gonna come out with fire. And if he feels like Jordan Poole hurt him on purpose, that fueled him up enough to come out there and start dunking on everybody.
Okay. All right. So while we're on it, you saw the replay multiple times, a thousand times. What are your thoughts on the play?
I think the play was basketball. I think the problem is this. So game two, of course, Gary Payton second gets hurt. Right. It's a real call. It was a rough ass call. It was a badass. It was playing basketball at the same time. But bro, it was just like, come on, man, you don't got to do all of that. Right. You know what I mean? It was a hard play. So I think that right there fueled them up like, oh, now they saying it was a hard play. They done took my boy out. So now he gets hurt. And now it's like, see, and then of course it's like in a lot of ways, that's like why even to the message was you broke the code, because that's what they were saying about the other player. Oh, he broke the code. Did he break the code? Did he break the code? I don't think he broke the code. It's clear to see that Poole first slaps the ball. And then when the ball is trying to hit the ground, he's eyes on the ball, trying to get the ball. They did a great play. They blitzed him. That's exactly what they did. They were trying to switch up the momentum of how they were defending him. You know what I mean? Because they were giving him a little bit of lax time to get up there, get to half court, able to get to a certain range. And so he was feeling like, oh, I could do this all day. The blitz was a distractive way to kind of like allow them to let him know, hey, we can come at you in any way. So that's what you're supposed to do. It's once again, it's playoff basketball. Right. And if you ain't ready to win here and play here, it's going to become with hard. It's going to come with battles. This is what they talk about whenever you hear any of these players who happen to get distance in a playoff series. They're going to tell you it's a battle in there. It's different from the regular season shit. In the regular season, you playing chess. You can move your shit a little different. Here, you playing high speed chess. Everything is a little bit more pressure. You actually got to hit it on that clock every time now. Now everything is hitting the clock now. So definitely a difference in the tempo, and definitely a difference of how you coming into the game, because any game can allow another team to build momentum and eventually, you know what I'm saying, have a certain edge over this series. Right. So you can't allow any edges over a series. They just came off of a huge win. John Morant dropped a huge amount of buckets. So now, we going to guard you. You're going to get played. Yeah. This is what you wanted, right? Your daddy over there, my man, you don't get on there and everybody love you, and now you don't get no play. This is what makes you great. You know what I mean? This is what makes you great. You think LeBron over there, they always been guard me. I don't know why. Like, stop. They just need to let me get dunks. Like, that's it. Like, that's how niggas used to be when it was 12. Like, Just let me get mine. Like, no, you make you good.
eventually, Ja get his LeBron on and learn to flop.
Right.
Because LeBron did used to feel like that. Like, bro, I'm 6'8", but come on, dog. Like, y'all wilding, bro. Like, y'all ripping my hair out my head. And then LeBron started getting his flop on. People was getting mad, like, he too big to be doing that.
Yeah.
Now that's gang. How do you feel about the Memphis Grizzlies fans' reaction to the replay?
I feel like they're fans. They're fans. They doing what they supposed to do. Hey, you heard our player. It's their star player. This is the player that's literally since 2015. These guys are getting past the second round to allow themselves to get to the second round of the playoffs. And you're going against championships because ain't nobody knocked the Warriors really off the throne yet. Let's keep that clear. Ain't nobody really knocked us off. You know what I'm saying? We still out here real champions. We still out here like, you know how like in wrestling.
Don't be out here giving that Raider attitude. We ain't won a championship in a minute. We still out here champions though.
We still out here.
Nobody beat us healthy the last time we was in the finals. You sound like a Jordan fan. Like he never lost in the finals, so he forever the best. Like, come on, man.
Hey, you got to bring that energy to them. That's the way you got to start talking. Look, you start putting that narrative out there, then people start building it. Like, you know what? He right. And then next thing you know, hey, you start building a controversial argument. However,
I give you that.
However, what I will say is, yeah, but the Memphis fans, they are, of course, going to overreact. That's what they're supposed to do, though. Like, we would do the same thing. If Curry was out there, if when people push Curry, I'm not even going to like my wife sometimes, when people just, Curry be out there shimmying all down the court on motherfuckers, and then one play, and then somebody be like, push him hard because they mad because he shimmied on them. And then all, see, they always hurting Curry. Like, no, he just Harlem shaked on this nigga right by him. You know what I'm saying? His wife watching this game. Like,
yeah, I don't. Now, when Curry be getting shoved, I'll be like, man, that's a 6'3" man. He's okay.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's okay. Niggas be like watching Curry on TV thinking he like an infant. Like, no, he's a 6'3" man. He's a 6'3" man. Yeah. If you saw him at the grocery store, you'd be like, hey, do you hoop? Like,
that's it.
Yeah, man. And you know, here's the thing. These are the facts. These are the facts. The slow motion is the play. It's not a good look. Mm-hmm. It's not a good look. And everything is egregious in slow motion. Everything's egregious, right?
Right.
The thing is, here's one side of it. One side of it is, I see Warrior fans on Twitter like, Jordan Poole ain't even that type of dude. He ain't even that type of player. He ain't even that type of dude. And then Jordan Poole's like, I'm not even that type of player. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. We don't know that, nigga. Like you know how long it took for people to realize like that Bruce Bowen, Patrick Beverly, Chris Paul, were that dude. The only people that we knew was that dude when he got to the league was Grayson Allen from Duke. We knew he was that dude because like y'all gonna draft a nigga based on that. Like, damn, he must be.
He been doing that in college.
Yeah, like he's outstandingly dirty. He dope dirty. He drafted on dirtiness.
Everybody knows
like,
it.
All of his draft highlights is him just grabbing people's balls. Like he never got those balls, Draymond.
Nah, they be having some dunk ones, but he be majority of his shit is definitely beat somebody's ass.
All the Grayson highlights is him just doing shady shit. So we knew he was that dude. But when it comes to like Bruce Bowen, Chris Paul, Patrick Beverly, the list goes on. It takes y'all. I'm gonna say y'all casuals. I won't even say, I don't like that word. I'm gonna say it takes us, people, society, like viewers. It takes about 5 to 6 years to realize, he always involved in some weird shit. It'd be like, you get older and be like, why do Chris Paul never know where he's going? Because when I was young, when Chris Paul was on the Pelicans, it didn't look, when he was on the Hornets, I'm sorry, it didn't look like that. But he been doing that.
Yeah.
But then that's just Chris Paul. He just little Chris Paul. No, that's a 6'2" man. You know what I'm saying? So for Jordan Poole ain't even that dude. You don't know him. Right. We don't know anything about him.
He just been waiting.
No, but like we don't know because like a lot of times the only reason we got this, there's no weight. Only reason we got this one is because it's in slow motion, right? If Ja Morant didn't get hurt, we wouldn't be zooming in on this. So okay. I'm saying, so it takes a while to find out if somebody is that dude. Now, on the other end, for those of y'all that are saying He did that on purpose. Watch the replay. And I'm going to ask you this. Which MMA fighter did Jordan Poole train with? You telling me his plan was to push Ja Morant in the back and then pull his knee to mess up his ACL? That don't make no sense. That's not even a dirty play that makes sense. There's no star player that makes it this far in the NBA, do the G League, gets brought up to the Warriors, trains under Steph Curry, and it's like, you know what I can't wait to do? I can't wait to push a nigga in his back and then pull his knee the other way. Nobody does that gets buckets. Nobody. So for those of y'all that's mad, I see why you're mad. And let's think about this too. I can see if Jordan Poole was like, huh, or like on some Ron Artest shit where he pretended to celebrate and hit James Harden in his neck.
Yeah.
Since then, James Harden ain't ever been the same. James Harden started getting a whole bunch of buckets, started going to strip clubs. I think Ron Artest made James Harden great. I think that's what happened. For James Harden to be great again, Ron Artest probably got to assault him again. But when people do stupid shit, it looks intentionally dumb as shit, and they got to play dumb about it. Jordan Poole is in a situation where he reaching and falling and grabbing because they all trying to get the rock.
Right.
So if you put any loose ball situation in slow motion, you're gonna see people doing shit that they ain't supposed to be doing. So that's where I'm at with it. I don't know where we go from here, but I know this. We don't know him. And if that's a dirty play, that's the most calculated dirty play I've ever seen in my life. If you believe that this man pushed somebody in the back and then pulled his knee to be like, yeah, I'm gonna show him what's really popping. I don't know where you play basketball at to know that someone plans that. I don't know. Yeah. See, and this is our problem with angles in slow motion. Because in the Super Bowl, when Cam Newton lost to the Broncos, there's a clip where it's a loose ball and Cam Newton stunts for the ball and doesn't dive for it. He's a bitch. He's supposed to die. He's supposed to dive in there. But you hear from everybody on the field, like, there's no way he could have got that ball. It's impossible. He wouldn't have got it, and he would have got destroyed. Yeah, he couldn't. But the way the slow motion is, he stunts for like, nah, it ain't gonna work out. Nah, not today, dog. It's a no for me. Like, see, he ain't dealing for his team on a Superman shit, some whole shit. So everything looks horrible. Everything looks horrible in slow motion. That's what I tweeted out. It's not a good look, and everything's egregious in slow motion, and that's where I'm at. And the way I see it, if you truly believe that man push that man's back and try to pull, like he's a chiropractor, like Jordan Poole training with Joe Rogan and shit on the side. He trained with Steph Curry, he in the G League, and he with Joe Rogan training to try to figure out how to push somebody back and put a knee out of socket. Come on, man. Like, I know a lot of y'all dislike the Warriors, but come on, bro. Come on. I'll give you this. 2 years ago, Zaza Pachulia got under Kawhi Leonard while shooting a jumper during a series that the Warriors were probably going to lose to the Spurs. Y'all, a lot of y'all still mad about that. A lot of Spurs fans. I ain't seen a Spurs fan in a while. A lot of Warrior haters, they should be putting that out there. Look, we know Zaza dirty, and I give y'all that one. That's obvious. But this right here, look, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna meet everybody halfway. If Jordan Poole is as good on offense, if he's that raw on offense and trains hard to be that good, and he did that play on purpose, Jordan Poole's unstoppable. He's unstoppable. He's unstoppable. Right there, right? He's unstoppable.
No, you back. Because I was thinking he trained with Jet Li. He did some shit like that. As you breaking that down, like that's Jet Li type shit. Like, and that quick, like ooh, I'm like that's some real Jet Li, like the one shit. Like on some the one. You remember that movie? Where
ain't it though? Ain't it some shit like if he's that good at both, fine. Give him $400 million for 3 years.
But the thing is, people are forgetting this. And I'm not, and I don't know if this might look like a bad way, because I don't think it's bad on this. But Ja Morant already had issues with that knee already. That's what took him out for 22 games in the beginning. So I mean, I understand where if that's his mindset, as Ja Morant is saying, like, oh, you knew I had this knee injury and then you grabbed at it. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, even when you look at the play, it's like, whoa, when you out here, like, I'll be out here sometimes, I'll be having small little shoulder pain just from sleeping uncomfortably. Right. Ain't nobody gonna know that when I'm out there hooping. They ain't. And so if they hit me or bump me on my shoulder, like, I can't be mad at him. Like, bro, you knew I'd be sleeping uncomfortably, right? Like, you see me and you know when I be like sleeping on my shoulder and I sleep like this, like, you know that though. So why would you do that? You see me stroking my arm like this and doing the small rotation, like, you knew I had a shoulder issue. So why would you hit me? Like, I can't be mad about that, bro. I chose to play out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like him dunking on somebody and being like, bro, I'm allergic to you putting your nuts in my mouth when you dunk on me, bro. Like, I don't like that shit.
I'm allergic to nuts. Not I'm straight and don't want nuts in my mouth. I'm just allergic to them. So just be respectful. Respect my allergies, man. Nut allergies matter. Hey, no, but I feel like so, and you know what's dope about it is that means that all this means this. This means the Warriors is popping again. Because when Twitter starts hating on the Warriors, it just means that means we popping. Because when nobody cares about us, nobody talks about us at all. They be like, you know, West Coast sports don't matter. Let's just LA. But then once Steph Curry's overrated, Draymond be punching babies, Jordan Poole is an assassin. Like, all right, that must mean we raw. We back at it. Then we appreciate it. Thanks, thanks, man. And I need to thank the Warriors because they're the only ones that's keeping these playoffs popping. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. I talked to one of our show contributors the other day, one of our professional gambling homeboys. He was telling me, man, he's like, I've been just watching all the baseball, man, because these playoffs are boring. I was like, damn, I thought I was tripping. But though, do you notice a particular dryness of these playoffs? I'm gonna ask you, is there a dryness? Is there a dryness because they've spent so much time, like our media spent so much time like marinating on LeBron's balls, and now that he's not here, then this weird, or is it just dry because just dry? Like,
all right, so it has to do with LeBron, but it has not to do with LeBron. Okay. And the reason why the playoffs look dry is because LeBron, first off, damn near recruited all of the stars on the fucking Lakers. So now it's a lack of amount of starness in these playoffs. There's a lot of teams, and this is really this right now. This is where, as a basketball fan, you either enjoy this because it's like it's just basketball and you're watching good basketball at this point. You're not watching it to watch for this star component of basketball. This is why now, you know, storylines like James Harden, you know, seem to be a little bit more focused on, you know, things like that. Like, you wouldn't really have to worry about these storylines, or even to the point now where we're still talking about Ben Simmons getting a back surgery. You know, like, why is that even they out? Like, why is that even? Because of the simple factor is this lack of starship in the playoffs right now. Curry is Curry right now at this point, other than, I'm not going to say other than, he has the most star power in this current playoff series right now. Right. Giannis is probably second on that end right there. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about that right now, Giannis is great. But it ain't he don't got the fan base like a LeBron or a fan base like a KD. So you don't get a lot of like this amazing amount of talent. Like, thinking about both freaking teams, Brooklyn Nets, as well as even looking the LA Lakers, them having such a depth of star power on their team, and then now they're being knocked out. That took a lot of the like energy out. Like, before this, you would still like playoffs back in the day, like when Westbrook was even just still on OKC or things like that, like him being on there and battling to get to he's even being here right now, like that would even still be compelling, because it would be like, oh, he's still dunking on people. You ain't got just one, you know, spectacular dunker just in this series right now, or maybe two, like one big man. Now you got a bunch of storylines that you could talk about. But even the fact of like, I think it would be more interesting if teams like, it would be more interesting if we saw a team like Chicago in here still. Like a lot of like DeMar DeRozan being in there and things like that. Like, it ain't enough storylines right now. That's really so I think the reason why the playoffs isn't as popping or isn't as like exciting to watch is just because it ain't enough storylines. There's nothing. It's not like there's nobody, like, if the Warriors win, right, it shouldn't really matter. The only thing that's going to really happen is it's still going to be a lot of hate. Well, they won, but LeBron was out and this and this. It's going to still talk about, like, they're still going to try to diminish this win. If Giannis win, it's the greatest win of the century. Oh my God, he won, you know, him, you know, Middleton, they balled out, they did this back to back, it's the greatest win. But us winning it, right? Us winning it again, because you know what's gonna end up happening. Let's say Curry and them get there. Jordan Poole gonna fuck around and get the MVP finals.
Yeah,
right?
Right.
He's gonna get the MVP finals. And then the storyline on that is Curry ain't raw enough and he don't finish in big games. Somebody always got to step up for him. So it's always going to be this, like, and that's what I mean. Like, it don't really matter, like, to a point, because the people already know the Warriors is raw enough to win the championship. That's not even a question about things. That's the reason why a lot of people have, you know, a dislike for the Warriors. Is because of that. Yeah.
I think when it comes to storyline thing, that's a good point. I don't think there's enough existing conflict, right? So when there's no conflict, when the media, that's what I meant. People, they spend too much time on LeBron. And when you say Curry's the best, the star power for the playoffs, the reason he is that is because there's a conflicting amount of vitriol towards him, and love for him. So when you split it in half, it's like, if he wins, there's people that are going to be happy, and if you win, there's people that want to see him win, people that don't want to see him win. Right. Period. When it comes to any other player, people are indifferent. Like Giannis, I would like to see a young dude get it. Back-to-back would be cool for Milwaukee. Milwaukee deserves it. Ain't nobody hating on them. Yeah. Like the Celtics, the Celtics, because they beat the Nets, like they the heroes of the year. So like, and then you got old school people that's like, well, I like this young Celtics team, like Jason Tatum, he deserved it. He should go. And the Heat, they all underdogs, just a whole bunch of underdogs all together. Woo, 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 woo. Right. And then everyone wants to lose because nobody really feeling hard. Nobody feeling this moves at all. So I think there's so much love and happiness spread all the way around. And also there's not even teams floating around that people hate. Like there's no Jazz, there's no Patrick Beverly villain. It's like young dudes that everybody want to see ball. Like even Doncic. Like I heard the sports media trying to hit on Doncic because he can't guard everybody, but he also putting up 40 buckets a game. Like you can't hate on that. He doing his best. Yeah. And then you see people rooting for Chris Paul, but at the same time, they don't want Chris Paul to win, but they know Chris Paul deserves it. And people want Phoenix to win because they're underdogs too. There's so many underdogs and everyone loves underdogs so much. It's like, who do you want to win? I don't really care no more. And you know what? LeBron playing basketball is like Floyd Mayweather fighting.
Right.
And people just want to see I just want to see LeBron get the finals and lose again and make my dick so hard. That's how people feel. Yeah. People only tuned in to watch Mayweather McGregor in the hopes that McGregor would just flip out and break Mayweather's leg and be like, yeah he did it. But outside of that, it's weird because we've gotten into a hate watch culture. For me personally, I hate watch Love After Lockup, and I hate watch 90 Day Fiance. It shows people come from overseas and they scam people out their money. And I hate watching Love After Lockup. People come out of prison, they say they're in love with people and they scam them. And I hate watching like, yeah, this shit is so stupid. Hate this show. Watch 4 or 5, 15 seasons of that shit. And that's how people watch LeBron, but they don't got no LeBron. It's like, damn, I spent my whole life hating. I don't even got no team no more. Right. And wait, and there's also, to your point, bro, like once you start, I can't really blame it. I can't blame this on like the way that stars move, but it's kind of just the way the way things like shook out, because there's teams in the West, people much rather see, even though Doncic is raw, people much rather see the Clippers play instead of the Mavs. The Clippers got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Yeah. Like people much rather see the Clippers team. People much rather, sorry, I know you don't want to hear this. People much rather see the Brooklyn Nets play than the Heat or the Celtics or Philly right now. Philly just holding on for dear life, and everybody destroying Harden. Like, okay, I get it. I understand. Harden made some weird moves to get out of his places. However, like, y'all gotta relax, man. He didn't join that. He didn't ask for that trade, knowing that Joel Embiid was not going to be on the team. Right. Like, who would have did that? And also, there's this, man. Like, also, there's this. Listen, I know a lot. I'm gonna say this. I've been saying this since 07, 06, 07. Ask my best friend. 06. Listen. Ask one of my best friends, Mike Peterson. When Kevin Garnett went to the Celtics and they won that championship, I told him I don't like Doc Rivers because he ain't do shit. And Doc Rivers is overrated as hell. And that's how I feel about it. And Doc Rivers is so overrated. He's so overrated and he's so anointed that y'all gonna sit up here and blame James Harden for not being able to play. Meanwhile, Doc Rivers had Joel Embiid in the game while it was up 30. Mm-hmm. As soon as the Warriors went up 20 last night, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson out of the game. Get out of here. Doc Rivers just sitting here chilling like, hey, just do what you got to do, Joel. And y'all love Doc Rivers so much. It's James Harden fault. How? James Harden looked washed up. How? He left the Nets because they didn't have their best player for home games. And Brooklyn got real slick with it and was like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna change the law so we can get these home playoff. We can get this home playoff.
Yeah, they did.
Stupid niggas gonna lose anyway. We're gonna show Kyrie was really popping. So you don't get the shot, but they're gonna get that home. They're gonna get that home playoff money. Bet y'all didn't know that. So James Harden left like, hey, Kyrie ain't playing. I gotta go somewhere. I gotta go somewhere to star. We gonna win. So he went there. They don't got Joel Embiid. He wouldn't have went there if they had Joel Embiid. So y'all gotta give Harden a break. I want y'all to get on Doc Rivers' neck just as much as y'all get on any other coach that make bad substitutions. I got a question. I'm always seeing people complaining about Steve Kerr's rotations all the time. I don't even know what they be complaining about. But for some reason, Doc Rivers got a 7-foot MVP candidate who was injury prone in the game while they up 25 points. Get off his balls. Yeah. Get off his balls. So that's where I'm at, man. You're right. I think it's we don't got the star power thing. I mean, people wanted to see Joel Embiid ball, and you want to see the James Harden, Joel Embiid thing. That's what the media pushed this for they pushed this trade for 6 months to happen so we could see that. And you don't got the Clippers. People like seeing the Clippers be there and fail and want to see the Clippers fail. That's what they do. So we ain't got no LA teams. Then there's this deal. We ain't even got Dame time. We ain't got no Dame time.
That's what I was about to say.
We ain't got Damian Lillard. We ain't got Damian Lillard just putting the whole state of Portland on his back.
Right.
We ain't got that. What is we watching? And I'm not. Here's the thing. For those of y'all heads and those of y'all that call me casual, fine. Do what you got to do, fine. But I'm not here to sit up here and just watch nobody that I don't know lose a game. I'm not here to root for Jimmy Butler. Not here for it. I like Jimmy Butler. He worked really hard. I'm not here to watch him in Spoelstra. Not here for it. I don't got time to sit here and watch somebody.
I actually been going for the Heat right now. They balling.
That's cool. That's good for you. You let me know how that goes. I tell you this much. They go to the finals. I'm not watching that. You know what? Here's the problem. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. It's not even about star power. This ain't about star power. This is about interest. Because I could tell you this. Do you remember when we were younger?
But that's the same though.
You remember? No, it's about no, because this is the thing. People would be like, you only follow the big names. No. Because when I was younger and the Nets wouldn't play the Spurs, I didn't watch that shit. They had tons of stars. The Nets had Jason Kidd, Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter, Keith Van Horn, and the Spurs had Tim Duncan and all them other Tony Parker, Ginobili, all them other foreign niggas. Star power. I'm watching that shit. I don't want to see. I don't want to see that. I want to see Westbrook jump on. I want to see Westbrook break a backboard and yell at somebody. Can't watch all these mild-mannered ass niggas, man. So fine, that's where I'm at with it. For those of y'all that want to sell me these playoffs, that's cool. But that's why the Warriors is gonna take all of y'all to the promised land. All of y'all sitting back like, damn, man, I wish the playoffs was better. Don't worry, man. Steph got y'all.
Right.
Steph got y'all.
Yeah, Steph gonna do Steph in the pool party. And they gonna do what they came to do. They definitely.
What about Clay, man? What about Steph?
Clay definitely gonna. Clay is like, you know how when Drake say, "I'm so rich, I ain't even gotta tell him that I'm rich." Yeah. That's Clay. I'm such a hitter, you ain't even gotta tell him that I'm a hitter no more.
Okay.
You ain't even gotta mention him. Not even to the point that like Curry ain't a hitter like that either. But you know, Curry he's a face of the team a little bit. He's a face of the team. Dre is the heart of the team, you know. But Clay is the gun of the team.
It's the gun of the team. It's the gun.
Shooter.
I respect it. I mean, who do you so at this point, besides the Warriors, I mean, right now you pulling for the Heat then?
No, I just been liking watching. I still like watching.
I'm sorry.
You saying who else would I pull for?
Let me give some context. I'm going back to our question from like a few weeks ago. Like, who would you want to see win if we can't win?
Oh yeah, I'll still say the Suns if we can't win.
The Suns, okay.
Right. Yeah. I'm still going for the Suns if we can't win. I just like how I like how Devin Booker's out there balling out. I even like I said, it'd just be nice to see Chris Paul do his thing. I mean, but no, the Heat balling though. You know what I like about the Heat? I'm gonna tell you this. Hold on, I want to say this
about the Heat, other than the fact that they're in Miami and you're friends with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, that's cool and all, but no, I like how they play. Like I like how they play. Like they really like it ain't like they going out there and they really are like low key. They just balling like they just like they balling like they moving the ball extremely well. You know what I mean? It ain't and like yeah. like Jimmy Butler is the biggest name on their team.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me. Like, not to say that like Jimmy ain't raw, like everybody know Jimmy raw, but like I'm saying, like, to the point where he ain't the known for the shot. He known for hard work. He known for hard work and getting on there and getting shit done. So it's just crazy to see in this young team going out there. And I think Spoelstra's doing a great job. A lot of people, you know, they always commend Spoelstra, especially for him winning with LeBron and Dwayne Wade. But a lot of times they do kind of discredit that as well. Like, oh, well, you know, LeBron and it was basically coaching. Like, I'm hearing people say that, but like he was basically coaching over there. Like, he was telling them niggas what to do. He was punking Spoelstra. Like, Spoelstra only was getting really it was because Pat Riley, like, he used to be under with Pat Riley. Y'all be trying to give him hella credit, but like they was discrediting him. Now I see him coaching. He's doing a good job, right? Doing his thing. Like, you were able to coach the niggas, like you said, a bunch of nobodies. But
I didn't call them
you called them nobodies.
I didn't call them nobodies.
You said, I'm not watching them niggas. They're nobodies. I don't want to see them.
I didn't say
and I'm gonna tell Jimmy, and we go see. Bro. And you know, you might get kicked out of the dark skin. You might get kicked out of the dark skin gang.
Listen, man, let me tell you.
That's a real light skin move.
Let me tell all the Warrior fans. Let me tell all the Warrior fans a secret. I'm like, I don't want to hear this, but Ryan about to tell y'all this. I didn't want to tell y'all this today. I'm gonna tell y'all this today. We're not gonna beat the Suns.
Dang.
So I just need y'all, like, I just need y'all to like have a good time.
Why do you feel that way?
Huh?
Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel like we can't beat the Suns?
Like, so here's the thing. So Chris Paul has all the Steph Curry tapes.
He definitely does.
He got all the tapes. He got all the tapes, right? He got all the tapes, man. And the Grizzlies don't have a big man that get buckets. They got Steven Adams, and he's a body, but they don't got Aiden and McGee and Smack. So I mean Bismack. And then nobody's gonna stop Booker, and they play defense. So like essentially, I'm just letting y'all know now. Like I'm just letting y'all know. So we have a good time in these playoffs and shit right now. And then once we play the Suns, like if we beat them, cool. Like cool, that's cool and all. But I'm letting y'all know right now. Like we're not gonna beat them.
Man,
like,
fuck that, man. We about to beat them, man. I ain't about to hear this shit. This nigga,
right.
Oh, I can't believe he would say that. Like, why would you even? They might not even get past Luka and them.
Listen, man. Listen, like this is like how I felt when we played the Rams. Like, wait, and do we have a return date for GP2, or he's done? He's out indefinitely for the season, right?
I think he's out indefinitely.
Okay, so and the way I'm seeing it, like that type of focus that Chris Paul got right now, he gonna piss Draymond off really bad, real bad. And Chris Paul got all the Warrior tapes. He got all the tapes. I think it's a problem. I'm just letting y'all know.
I will say, to your point, they do have JaVale McGee who did run with them, and probably know the playbooks. So I hear you.
The thing is like,
fuck that, we about to run there.
I'm just saying, like, as far as like the trickery in the way we run our screens and shit, and like us like missing a defender, like missing a whole defender. Cool. The upside is this. The upside is we obviously got Jordan Poole. That's a little bit different. CP3 ain't got his tapes, but I'm letting y'all know, man. That's where I'm at. So if we do beat them, cool. But I'm not. Here's the thing, because I'm not here for like, this is what I'm doing. I'm setting expectations. I'm not here for the tears and shit after. I'm not here for the shit, Chris Paul cheated and the NBA don't want us to win. I don't want to hear none of that. We still got to get better. So I'm not here for like I'm not here for like the over exaggerators. Like when your wife was like, they all trying to hurt Curry. I don't want to hear it. Nigga, we can't ever get no calls. The NBA really want Chris Paul to win. No. I'm letting y'all know now. We can't beat them. And that's it. So you can look at me like that if you want to, Dell. And I feel a lot of y'all looking at me and listening to me in the way right now. But I'm just telling y'all this.
Yeah.
Have a good time right now. We got to have a good time right now.
I just searched your name. They put canceled. No, but I just to correct though, Gary Payton II, actually he'll be gone just for a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
That makes me feel a lot better because because we gonna have to just throw just bodies and bodies at Devin Booker. Just bodies and
I
bodies.
mean, Kuminga, that boy, you know, this is definitely a time for him to step up too defensively. He ain't enough.
No, man. Like, no, like I think
No.
you know, I talked to one of my friends about this a while ago about Devin Booker, and this is like several years ago. This is when he scored. This is when he had scored 71 points, right? And sometimes when people score that many points, you gotta see the game. But I saw the game, like I saw it, and I was like, I saw the stat, and I was like, let me see the actual game. And I was in Vegas, so the game came up, and I was like, oh my god, like wait, they're guarding him. Like these were like contested.
Yeah,
They were guarding him. So I was telling one of my friends, this is before the you know, the Mamba went to the sky, but I was like, if anyone's gonna score 81, and if anyone's gonna score 81 in life, it would be him, right? And I just think that like once he get in that mind, once he gets in like, oh, we gotta outshoot them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was thinking of it like in a way where you were talking about John Morant being like AI in a sense. The reason I made it to the finals because you had AI getting buckets and everybody was a defender. Everybody. You had Eric Snow. You had Eric Snow playing point to take care of the rock when AI was, you know, when AI needed a little break or whatever. But now you got Chris Paul taking care of the rock, and you got Devin Booker who can just take off at any time, and you got this defense. So, and it takes us so long to like warm in the game. Like I get it. We have the Warrior excuse. It's an Oakland excuse the way I see it. Because niggas said it's about the Raiders too. We're a second half team. We're a second half team because we got to put up a bunch of shots to try to get warm. But you put up enough of those shots against a big man that can rebound. Those are long rebounds, and that's how you go down 15 points early in the game. So all things considered, I'm not gonna sit up here and say I'm a little concerned. I'm just gonna tell you we're not gonna beat them. That's what I'm gonna say.
Fine.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
you're wrong. And so
right.
now,
and
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, go ahead.
Take it back. I'm gonna tell you why we're gonna
tell me why I'm wrong.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. First off, what you're right about is yes. What you're right about is Devin Booker is a beast. However, we've seen beasts before. We didn't face beasts before. We didn't face teams with depth before. We didn't face big men who are supposedly the king of the motherfucking what's the thing, the jack. We had to scum up the stem, you know, we don't you gonna
get this analogy out? What's the analogy? What is it?
We done battled against the big man who are king of the beanstalk.
Okay.
Now how, and we done done that. So we about to come out here and win. Look, this is one thing you're right about. Yeah, Chris Paul does have all of the Warriors tapes, right? All of the Warriors tapes.
No, he got the Steph Curry tapes.
Yeah. And guess what Steph got? His tapes. He got his tapes. He done look, man, Curry done made that man dance. Yeah. That made him dance. And you know what this comes from? This comes from back in the day when they went to a playoff game and fucking Curry was trying to go on. This is in Houston. And Curry was trying to go on and get onto the court to get a little shoot around on before the game. And Chris Paul got wind of it, went out there and blocked the court and didn't let Steph come out there and win. And when you talk about being a second half team, that's when the second half came out and Curry started putting it in his mouth. So I'm going to tell you like this. Man, look, Curry about to get these boys to work. Klay Thompson is coming back. Klay Thompson is looking better every game. Every game. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, Draymond is still Draymond. And even Looney stepping up. Looney doing his thing.
That's one of those. You give me one of those Stephen A. Smith analysis.
You know?
Like somebody give Stephen A. Smith the breakdown. And after that, his breakdown is just the person's like word and then nouns. Like Steph Curry, he a beast. You know, Draymond, he a monster. And then you know Klay Thompson, you know, he a tornado. Like, I mean, and Looney, you know, he big. He getting in it. Like, you're not saying all you're saying. You
got locks now.
You're just naming the roster.
Look, but I don't care about what you say. We can bet on it. But I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm willing to put $100 that we win against them if we gotta play them.
$100?
$100
that will win the series.
that will win the series.
All right, y'all heard it here first. I'm gonna bet Dell
Yeah.
$100. I'm gonna bet $100 the Warriors are not going to advance
I'm
past
$200
the
rich.
Suns.
I'm $200 richer.
It's
Now, if the Suns lose to Luka and them,
I'm pretty sure we play them next. We play the Suns next, right?
You're right. But I'm just saying, if they lose to Luka and them, and it's the Dallas, I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Hear none of what?
I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't want to hear none of that.
If we don't play them, then what do you?
I want my $100 in.
Why would I pay you money? Why would I pay you? That's stupid. I don't want to hear none of that. So I put in random variables and stipulations that don't make no sense, man. Listen. When we play them, because Luka not gonna get past the Suns. When we play the Suns, I'm betting you $100 that the Suns is gonna beat us in the series. All right, man. Virtual handshake. But man, let me ask you a question, man. This past week, YouTube lost. I mean, YouTube and the culture lost. I mean, a sensational individual. The word has been controversial. I'm gonna say sensational. We probably have to dig on this a little bit deeper in another episode. But first, I want to ask you. We didn't even get a chance to do any pre-pro for this or pregame. But did you watch Kevin Samuels? Or did you watch any videos? How familiar are you with Kevin Samuels?
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with Kevin Samuels.
Okay, got it. And I mean, I'm gonna just ask you this question, man. How much do you think he will be missed?
I don't think he's gonna be missed as much in the public eye. I think, a lot of times we as a society, we tend to hold on to things that don't really matter once a person's gone. We tend to hold on to it. We tend to, even to the point where articles are no longer, the article is not even talking so much about his death as much as it's talking about the controversy. I know you said sensational, but it's more about what he did prior to his death, things that don't even matter. Oh, he told a 35-year-old woman this. Oh, he did this, because a man was, because someone was opinionated, they had an opinion, doesn't mean because their opinion, if we allow, his opinion would have never mattered to me, just to be real with you. And I'm sure women I've been around, it wouldn't have mattered to them. If that's what you said, you don't have to get heightened up about what someone says unless it's true, or you see some kind of truth within what the person's saying. So I think a lot of times because of that, we tend to put hate on someone for being the opinion that they have over the fact that if the person that's hearing it and receiving it, they should be able to deal with it. Either we should give benefit to the person, how they was able to receive it. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you for that. Boom, boom, boom. Keep moving forward. Just because you hear, we hear that all the time. Just because you hear somebody tell you something, I don't mean that that's what it is. You only affect it when it's really true about you. Nobody get like, fuck your mama. You don't know your mama. Why you care? You know what I'm saying? Why do you care about that? But I think that, so just to answer the question, is he going to be missed? To his family, yeah. To the people that worked with him, to the people that truly knew who Kevin Samuels was, I'm sure, yeah, they're gonna miss him. But the people who in this public eye, no, they're not gonna miss him. They're gonna continue to bash. They're gonna continue to talk about a bunch of shit that don't matter. There's gonna be some fake motherfuckers coming out with, he was cool, we should do this and we should do that. But in reality, it's just to go on that. But I feel like for the public, I know he won't be missed.
Got it. I found it interesting that what I was looking at was I found within the situation when I was reading articles, some of the ones that you were talking about, a lot of the highlights that he was talking about, the highlights he was quoted for were saying women over 35 are leftovers, and like this, the sensationalism, if you will, right, of things he was saying. But it's weird how, not weird, but this is just kind of fact. In truth, it's like you're not, when you die, like you're not like remembered for like what you contributed. You're remembered for what you were popular for until years and years later. So like if Bill Cosby died like right now, right? People remember him for like what he's been charged with and what the things that have happened, because that's what he's at this point. That's what he's popular for. If he died right now, if people dug deeper and they watched like the documentary and found out like what he did for like Black culture in Hollywood, they'd be like, damn, oh, that was his contribution. So I think it will take a while to realize what his contribution was. It's similarly to like there's an individual called Alan Watts. He's not a YouTuber, but he's an English writer, philosopher, Buddhist from back in the day. He passed in like I think like he passed in the 60s, and his videos are all over YouTube. And I think Kevin Samuels would say, I think that's gonna have those are gonna spread as well. It's weird because the first thing I thought about when this happened, the first thing I thought about was I thought the way people thought about Nipsey Hussle. So when I first heard about Nipsey Hussle's past, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. Live and die in LA. That's what I thought immediately. And 90% of the niggas I know were like, no, the government killed him because he's gonna release a documentary about food. And I'm like, okay, man. Like if you think that the government killed a lot of people, but if you think that they killed him because he was gonna make a documentary that's gonna make you niggas stop like drinking lean, like that's what the government's doing. That's okay, fine. But oddly, like I haven't heard this yet from anywhere. But when I first heard him dying after doing a show the night before, I'm like, government killed him. Because in my mind, because some of the things that he was saying, like the things that he was saying to like challenge the tropes of the Black community were things that if if they if Martin if you infiltrated like Oakland with crack and like killed Martin Luther King and was like bugging Malcolm X's phone and all this shit, I don't see why you would be okay with those particular messages going out that Kevin Samuels is giving out. Mm-hmm. And when I say those messages, I mean like the ones where it's like, yo, the ones where it's like I support Black love. I just want Black men to be appreciated, and women need to uplift themselves to be able to get a man that they feel like they want. And there's nothing wrong with the woman dating a blue collar man. And if you are a blue collar man, you can't afford an executive wife. You need to date within your range. Like shit like that. And interesting thing is like a lot of people have said this, and this is the reason why I can go on and on and on about this man. The reason why I wanted to point this out is because if a lot of you guys haven't like heard what he had to say and you're only like rolling these clips, I just want to ask you to hop on YouTube and just give a listen to like one of his whole shows, or like give a listen to like a couple 30 40 minutes, if you will, and you'll find things that aren't him calling the woman average. And the thing is this, right? Me and Dell kind of got in a little bit of trouble by some of our listeners and contributors when the Megan thing happened, because we didn't believe it, right? We didn't believe it. And I had a woman I was talking to at the time, I was like, why don't you just believe what she says? She's a Black woman. It's hard enough for people to believe her. Just believe what she says. And it's too much. And it's weird because he would talk about like there's too much like queen energy of people that ain't did shit. Right. There's there's too much king energy of niggas that ain't did shit. But he didn't get popular until he started talking to women. Because for years and years and years, he's been telling dudes how to carry themselves. He has this really dope this hour-long call-in show about locks. Like, cut your hair, brother. They not cut your hair. I've been in these rooms and they don't like it. They keep like telling men how they should move, like telling Black dudes how they should move. He recently talked to like a divorce lawyer and talked to men about marriage. And there's all these other like avenues of what this individual did. And the only thing that's being like reflected is like him telling the woman that she's average because she said that she felt like she wasn't. And the interesting thing is like, I listened to a lot of like AM radio when I was younger, not so much now because there's podcasts. I used to listen to AM radio. People would call in. I thought that was so interesting. And he actually had people call in. People would call in. He would talk to them. And like, people don't do that shit. Like, people call in. And the coldest part is like, I don't watch all of his shows, but the night before he had a show, I was like, I'm not really interested in that topic. Next day he was dead. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Because you really do this thing where it's like he ranks women. But people call in. He says, he asks them for the dress size, asks them for their height. He says, rank themselves, scale of 1 to 10, you can't use 7. Fresh out of the shower, natural hair. 8, 9, and 10 are Beyonce, Rihanna, and Kelly Rowland. That's the scale. Yeah. That's his scale. You don't got to use that scale. You can hang up. Yeah. But then he ranks women like, no, you called to ask. Like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's like you called though. So it's just, man, I would, for anybody that never heard his stuff, I would check it out. Man, when I first heard about dude and saw him on Joe Budden, he He did a dope interview. If you're a man and you're not working 60 hours a week, I don't want to hear you talking about being broke. That's an interview with Joe Budden. He did an interview with Brittany Renner, the chick from Instagram. Did a great interview with her. Check all those out, man. I heard about dude when I was driving back and forth to visit about Dell time in LA to do our shows or whatnot. I was listening to it and I was like, damn, this is kind of fire. He's telling chicks what they should do to go find the right man, telling men what they should do to find the right woman. It's like
funny.
One more thing though. It's like when people listen to rap. It's like when people listen to rap and they say, all they talk about is killing people. Okay, got it. So you heard hit him up one time. Got it. You heard Lil Uzi Vert. You ever listen to a J. Cole album? No, I don't got time to listen to all of it. Then your opinion doesn't matter.
Right.
Feel me? Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say nobody has a problem in a lot of ways when Kim Kardashian says, hey, as women, you know what I'm saying, y'all need to just work, right? To just work, right? And that's empowering women in a lot of ways. This man telling, like you said, giving out advice about how to better yourself, how to be more presentable as or more attainable to the kind of woman or the kind of or just the kind of person that you're trying to obtain. So how to be more attainable. This is what you need to do. You know what I mean? Just because somebody tell you a 7, that don't mean you don't got room to be a 10. Or just because you a 6 don't mean that you don't got room to do that. Sometimes you got to hear, you know what I'm saying? When you go to job, people go to jobs every day and get evaluations that they don't expect. You know what I'm saying? You go to work every day and then you get an evaluation, and they always going to tell you in that evaluation what you're doing wrong. You could be on time every day. You could be the hardest worker. They could, in that evaluation, their job is to find out what is wrong with you. So if you're calling in to get yourself evaluated by someone, his job is to tell you what's wrong with you. It's not about, it's not about, you don't go to a personal trainer and say, hey, tell me how good I look. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't go to a personal trainer for the personal trainer to say, hey, this is what we can work out for you. Right here, you got a little fat on the side. We can get some of that back fat going for you. We can get some of those abs built in for you, things like that. You're okay with hearing that. Then you should be okay with hearing about things like how to sharpen your personality or how to make yourself more obtainable. You know what I mean? Just like, and it's funny when you say, yeah, the government may have killed them, because maybe they did. Maybe they don't want, you know what I mean? A lot of times right now, we're to this point where as viewers, we're it's almost like the same thing with the crack epidemic, right? Like, we are almost pushed, as a man, you're almost pushed to have to go out here and get the chick with the fake booty, with the fake titties and things like that. If you single now, like, you got to have the baddest shit. It's like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Remember when it was okay to have a first car and it could be a scraper and it was okay. Right. Now your first car got to be better. You got to be a Tesla. You know what I'm saying? Right off the bat, you don't even know how to drive yet, but your first car got to be a Tesla. Like, come on now. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how life is for a lot of men now. Like, men are, you know what I'm saying? You can't even get you a girl that you just like, you know, you got to go out and find it. But I say that all to say that, like, that if he's telling you how to go ahead and do it, don't mean you got to go about that. And it's just that don't mean that you got to fall by that. Maybe you want to get you a blue collar brother, and for him to say it's okay for us to date that, because that's how they put that in their mind. Like, oh, I can't be blue collar, I can't be this because I can't get no woman. If I want this woman, I can't get that woman because ideally she thinks like this.
Right.
And a lot of that's true. No, y'all think like that. Like, you talked about him talking about the girl. What'd you say her name? I just know her. I know her story a little bit, but
Brittany Renner.
Brittany Renner. Like, her thing is, I know she was on Denzel. I mean, not on Denzel, on
Fresh and Fit.
On Deion Sanders. Okay. She went to the school for Deion Sanders. To Deion Sanders school, to Jackson.
Oh, to tell them tricks and
yeah. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was okay though. You know what I mean? That's okay. You know, but we can't support a man who's telling the other man, like, that's a problem too. It's because a lot of times as men, men are felt like they can't get advice from another man because it discredits what they have been as a man. Right. If you get advice from another man, it almost discredits what you can do as a man, like your capabilities as a man. Y'all got to stop thinking like that. A lot of men think like that, like, oh, if I take advice from another man, that's going to discredit what I know about that certain subject. No, it means that you went out and seeked information. Right. You know what I mean? And this is what leads a lot of people to not even believe people, especially when people are the same skin tone or the same background as you. You tend to want to dismiss what they have to say because you feeling like whatever they got to say, they don't know. They don't, even though they got the most understanding of you as an individual, you tend to want to discredit them, but then go out and seek information. It's like I saw this. I'm going bumping around a little bit, but
okay.
I saw this fucking YouTube thing one time where it was a brother. He was selling some shit. Shout out to RDC. He was selling some shit on one corner, and brother walked up to him and said, "Hey man, I see you over here selling this shit. Congratulations, man. What's poppin', man? Shit, stand up, man. Good job, man. Yeah, man. You want to buy this, man? $10." Said, "Nah, man. You know, I mean, I ain't got it right now." Literally walked over to the next stand. Dude was over there like, "Yeah, man, I'm selling this one for $50." But he was just like, "Oh yeah, man, I'll buy it from you. Yeah, got $50. I'll buy it too. I'm like, get your card. Let me tell other people." They don't even know, bro. But he knew the other dude on the other side. A lot of y'all don't want to do that. You know what I mean? That's what I say about, even for Cam and Samuel, it's like, this man is a black man telling other black men how to present themselves. And he's also successful. I mean, he had, prior to his death, he had a million point four subscribers. He obviously doing something right. You know what I'm saying? The man was able to build a life on being able to be someone who was a social consultant. You know what I mean? Obviously doing something right? So he was basically Hitch. He basically was Hitch.
Right.
You know what I mean? He basically was Hitch. You know, so you got Hitch out here really doing what he really Will Smith out here in a lot of ways, but y'all don't want to hear what he got to say. And then this thing is because it is this thing where we always can't. It's the same thing with this, like even look at the situation with Amber Heard, right? Like maybe if Samuel was ever to talk, you know what I'm saying? Talk to Johnny Depp, even in school with Johnny Depp. Hey, yo, bro, she a little below you. You feel me? You don't want to do that. She might be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You can go get something better than that.
Right.
You Johnny fucking Depp. Like,
don't take that shit.
Don't take that shit.
It's interesting because he would be in situations like that. Like women would call in and he'd say, I don't even know why that man is like dealing with you. Or he would even be like, "Yo, that man's wasting your time. Like, what you doing it for 5 years? You doing it?" He would be like, "Have you dated? Like a high value man?" It's like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've dated him." It's like, have you been married? Like, no, but I've seen him. Like, he was like, "Well, based on the way you move, he'll probably smash and have a good time, but we count marriages." She's like a lot. He's like, a lot of y'all can be around these dudes, but you haven't married them. So like, get realistic with your expectations. Right. Dudes will call me like, "Yo, is your voice usually like that? You should work on your diction and work on the way your voice is. And you could be more just giving out game. Yeah. Just giving out a bunch of game, and it's wild because it's interesting when you talk about who will take advice from, because like honestly, there's high level similarities between like the way like Dr. Phil talks to people. Like as Dr. Phil if you watch old Dr. Phil, he's more like respectful, but as Dr. Phil got older, he like sarcastic, he's kind of condescending, he be talking shit. Dr. Phil be talking shit. But he's a descendant of Oprah, and he's on TV and he's white and he's a doctor. Yeah. It's okay. But this man's on television like, "Why'd you leave your baby daddy?" "Well, because he was cheating." But now you have a kid. Like, y'all can't leave these marriages. Like, now you don't have a kid. He was really giving out game like, "Yo, if you're a single mother, like your value is lower." Men don't want to raise somebody else's kid. But I've seen it happen before. And they'd be like, well, he'd be like, anomalies aren't, he would basically say like anomalies aren't like the regular. So he was giving out game for like younger chicks that are listening like, "Damn, okay, I gotta watch myself with these bum niggas, because ain't nobody because that just makes sense. Like, it just makes sense, man. Like,
it's a lot of chicks out here. It's a lot of chicks out here who don't have that father figure to tell them that shit. And like
a lot of dudes too.
A lot of dudes. And sometimes it's like, and that's why we are sometimes, even as a culture, as a community, we do have a lot of this going on. You know, a lot of single mothership, and sometimes, we put a lot of pride behind the single mothership that we have in our community. But sometimes, bro, we don't like, just because there's a lot of strong willed women out there who ever do that, don't mean she should have to be in that position. And if you're and if you're able, like we're not out here trying to build single mothers. Like, that's not the plan.
You know what's so cold? It's interesting because like it's a strange like glorification, right? So I'm talking about double rocking shit, right? Earlier in the episode we talked about the projects. For us, for our culture, we look at it like, oh, that's just a part of like culture. Yeah. But like the white folks, the trailer park sounds like the N-word to them. Yeah. So they know it's not glorified for them. Like when Eminem raps about that shit, he's not glorifying. He's talking about how much he hated his life. Yeah. Like, but for our music, it's like, yeah, like from the mud. Like, even that's why he even gave like Russell Wilson credit and defended him when people were calling him a square. He's like everybody talking about Russell Wilson's a square, but none of these women actually want Future. Like y'all think y'all want Future, but y'all want Russell Wilson. Right. He even stood up for him, even though the culture don't stand up for Russell Wilson. So it's interesting how like there was so many great messages, and of course you got the entertainment aspect. And that's why a lot of us listen. That's why a lot of us listen to some of the people that we do, because they stand on like a particular value and they don't move from that. And it's entertaining when people don't budge, honestly, because you can find out how off the wall their views can be sometimes. I'll give an example. If you listen to Dave Ramsey Dave Ramsey will tell you never borrow any money. Never borrow any money. Only get a mortgage from a bank if like it's a mortgage that doesn't require credit, but never borrow any money. You'll become a millionaire. Like, okay, if you move right with your money, invest in your 401k, right, cool, Dave Ramsey, but that nobody should ever borrow any money.
Ever.
But that's how he moves. That's what he stands on. Yeah. Stephen A. Smith feels like there's no reason any athlete should ever be using weed if it's illegal in the NFL. Stands on. That's how he feels. Really, Stephen A., you ain't smoked no tree in your whole life around. Never. Around. It's like Stephen A., your back be hurting, you ain't never use those CBD, you never use anything. But that's what he stand on. Kevin Samuels stood on, if you're a woman over 35, you're leftovers. That's what he stands on. But that's why people calling to hear, like, I want to hear somebody that doesn't budge off of their ideal, because that's what we listen to. A lot of y'all, this is the dope thing about entertainment. This is what I gathered why a lot of people seem to like our show. A lot of times me and Dell communicate differently, and we don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. If there was times we both be like, hey bro, how you feel about the Warriors Suns? It depends. How you feel about this? It depends. Nobody want to hear it depends. People call in to hear a side, because people want to call in and co-sign or call in and disagree. That's why, full circle. That's why the playoffs are boring, because everybody's like, I don't care. Except for Steph Curry. It's like, I hate him or I love him. Yeah. That's where it's at. So I would ask all of y'all, man, if y'all get a chance, just people old episode, pull up a couple, man, check it out, because some of the game is he even talks about how like within our culture there's been a high level of emphasis and like women getting their education before like marriage. And when he asked like why do you want to do that, like, just my dad told me. And honestly, like, I've heard that a lot. Like, my dad told me to get my education. Like, and people are like, I'm gonna get married after I get my education. Like, why wouldn't you build a family? Because I want to get my education. But if you're going to have a kid after, what difference does it make what your education is? But to fall back on it, why don't you work on finding a relationship that you won't have to fall out of? Like, it's just really, and that's the game it was giving people. And it's like, it kind of flips everything on its head. Like, a lot of excuses we have, like, get your education, single moms, go hard. Like, that's cool and all, but that's not the norm. Like, I think sometimes things are so glorified in our culture that it becomes a norm, and it can't be that norm. Like, it can't be that shit. Like Boondocks makes fun of the movie Soul Food because Granny get her leg cut off and she dies, and then they eat the same food. Come on, cuz. Like, the end of the movie should be everybody go vegan. Like, yeah. But no, you eat the same food with Big Mama. Like, what?
Same food. Did she die on this? Yeah, but hey, if we gonna go out, you gonna go out like Big Mama, right? Like, you're gonna go out like her, like, so good.
Ridiculous. So yeah, man, if y'all get a chance, just check out. If you get a chance, and if y'all rock with us and enjoy some of the stuff that we said, check it out. And also, I don't want to be completely biased. As I mentioned Stephen A. Smith, I mentioned Dave Ramsey, I mentioned Dr. Phil. There's entertainment on there too. Like, nigga, he do be talking shit, because you got to. That's life. That's what we all do. So I mean, some of y'all gonna be hot about what I said about the Warriors, and that's just the way it is. So
you're gonna get stolen on as soon as he walk out of that nice building he in. Stilly.
Luckily, this isn't live yet. Once we start recording live, I'm gonna have people outside the window. Like
still, he gonna be getting chased down like Charlemagne.
Hitting the back of my head. Y'all still love me, right? Y'all still love your boy?
Look, I see a Korean dude giving you the finger.
Bro, they burning the crosses outside. Hey man, do you have a listen of the week for these people?
Man, I told you got to get these listens out, man. Look, man, we got to get to our fans, bro. Stop disrespecting our fans. I don't want them to be shitting on your grave, bro.
Man, look, okay, let me dig deep.
You never got my shit.
I already know which one it is. Check it out, man. This is a shout out to one of our day ones, man. My homie Jamestown Jay.
That's the J.
Man, big supporter in like everything I do, bruh pushed up from Central Valley to like another city in the valley on his way to Sacramento, stop off and see one of my shows just recently. Help me with some career advice whenever I need it. Man, one of my close, I'm known this dude shit over 30 years.
Yeah.
God damn,
yeah, y'all niggas was 5. Y'all still got pictures with in the same bathtub.
That's not a picture that exists.
And just Jay like
bruh. It's one of our tracks. This shit comes on every vacation. Whenever niggas in Puerto Vallarta, when we in Cabo San Lucas or Hawaii, wherever, Nashville, wherever. Killa Cam by Cameron from Purple Haze. So it's an amazing track. If you're not a Cameron fan, and you'd be like, he always be like, dupa dupa, super super, scoopa dupa, shoopy doop. This is the track that you should listen to, and you'd be like, damn, I didn't even know Cameron can rap like that. For those of y'all that don't know Cameron can rap, I want y'all to turn on the song so you could be like, I didn't even know Cameron can rap like that. And for those of y'all that do listen to Cam, I know you haven't heard this in a long time. So turn this on. It's a whole vibe. This is the type of track that you could play in your garage if you smoking, or you can play it in your whip if you just mobbing on the freeway with the top down, or you could sip whiskey to this song. You could sit on the roof, getting a tan, butt naked to this song. There's a lot of things you could just do to this song. You could go to the liquor store, give a bum some money to this song. Just the way it ride. You could buy a chain to this song. It's so many different things. You could barbecue a steak. It's so many different things you could do to this particular track. Tune in, man. Killa Cam, Purple Haze by Cameron. Check it out. For those of y'all that are subscribed to our YouTube, thank you. Also subscribe to About Dell Times YouTube. Also subscribe to my YouTube, Ryan Humor. I am going to have all these episodes on my YouTube shortly. I'm dealing with a Dropbox billing situation right now. They're trying to play me, but sooner than later, we're going to have all the episodes on my YouTube and Dell's YouTube, right, and the Dell Ryan YouTube. So y'all already know where to find all this stuff at, but if you didn't know, use this information to inform yourself and tell your mama. I don't know what day y'all listen to this, but if you listen to it within these days, the next 7 days, happy Mother's Day to you and yours.
Yeah, man. Hey, and if you made it this far before...
Oh, I didn't even do the outro. I thought you were going to do your outro.
Yeah, I don't know what I was waiting on. Go.
Oh, my bad, man. Listen, per usual, y'all could be anywhere in the world right now, but y'all here with us, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, man. And if you made it this far, before you click off, before you go ahead and hit nap, before you get ready to tour in that Warriors game, just hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you'll be notified of all the new episodes. I know the episode's been a little delayed on the channel. I'm sorry, I'm moving. Please forgive me, but I promise you they will be back, and you will get these back to back. It will be one day, like literally this week, where they will be on there. So you will go and get all of them. But right now, if you listening and then you got your earphones plugged in, or you just in there with your speaker on, still go ahead and hit 5 stars on whatever you listening to. So this way we can get those credits, man. We need those, you know, it's like a student trying to get his bachelor's. He need credits. So yeah.
You need those credits, man.
Need those credits. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, man. Hey, so yeah, man, if you made it this far, just know, man, we here. We really, 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 really fuck with you. So till next time, go ahead and cue the music.